These guys are going for glory.
No way! Peace Seller very cautiously wins. Oh my god! Wow!
The pick on to Galtis. Can he finish it off with the 3v1? Mr. Waffles will step on. He does it! Let's go, Mr. Waffles finishing it off for Oracle. And that's how you do it.
And they stop it at 5-5! Holy smokes, what a game!
Lipinski gets another. Oh no! He knocks him!
But Beast took down Jose. Can he do it in time? 3 seconds left. He got him low. He didn't do it.
Good evening, everybody. Happy 3-day weekend and happy VREL semifinals. Players looking to earn their spot in the final and get their share of the overall prize. We've already got a few teams in the lobby. Some Cobra NA, a lot of VRS, and there is a lot of VRS in this lobby overall. While we wait for some more players to pop in, let's look at the bracket. So, looking at this bracket, this lobby is the right side of the bracket here. 3 VRS teams. We've got VR Shockwave, Synergy is a VRS team, and VR Stunners. 2 Supreme teams, Supreme Genesis and Supreme Fatal, as well as Cobra NA. And last week, Cobra NA was looking very dominant in their lobby. All of these VRS teams were the 3 teams that advanced from their lobby. Supreme Genesis and Supreme Fatal made it through valiantly as well. It's going to be a tough battle to get in the top 3 out of 6 in this lobby to advance to the finals. Doesn't really matter what place you get, first through third. You just got to get through to the finals. Get that opportunity to get your share of that $1,000 cash prize pool. It'll be, I believe, 500, 300, and 200 for first, second, and third place teams in that final. But today, players just looking to earn their spot in that lobby next Saturday. So this time next week will be the finals. But right now, we've got the semis. Still a lot of players to come into this lobby. And I'm going to take a look at the teams from the score sheet over here. Especially to distinguish which VRS team is which for myself and for everybody watching. So VR Shockwave is, I believe, the VRS team to beat here. They've got Shagroid, and I don't see Tumbleweed on this list here, but Shagroid, one of the top players in average damage per game in the regular season. And yeah, for my pick sloth, I'm definitely thinking VR Shockwave and Cobra NA are 2 of the biggest favorites here. Probably Cobra NA being one of the favorites to win it all. Especially with Danimal and Skittles both near the top of the power rankings for overall players. We'll see who they're... I think they have Goodbet in the lobby today. And Goodbet's definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. We'll see exactly... Actually, it looks like they have Iggy the Rat instead of Skittles today. So we'll see if that influences them. Skittles had the best stats out of any player in the preseason. So we'll see if, you know, there will probably be a fall off in production replacing him with Iggy the Rat. But with how prolific they've been as a squad, they may be able to overcome that and still get top 3 in advance. But those team names, team letters may not be right at this point. So we'll see exactly what the squads are when we get into the lobby. Looking at these other teams, VR Synergy It's a team with Snickle Fritz, Chocolate Wings, and company. Looks like today they've got Snickle Fritz, Avon, and Leading playing for VR Synergy. VR Stunners, it's going to be today. I think they've got Demolition, Cosmic Veyron, and Chemical Imbalance. So that covers the 3 VRS teams and Cobra NA. Looking at the last 2 teams, Supreme Genesis and Supreme Fatal. Let's see. Supreme Genesis has Mr. Awesome, Colin the 5. We'll see who their third is today. I saw those 2 in the lobby. And then Supreme Fatal, Angelic Messenger. We'll see who the rest of their squad is in this lobby. But I was referencing it a minute ago, those power rankings. I'll pull them up here. This is from the regular season, I believe, so not including playoff stats from the quarterfinals. However, with Skit being out for Cobra NA, that may impact their team. I mean, honestly, it may impact their ability to get first and get 120 points, 150 points in this lobby. They could still easily get third, but I think the chemistry for the team may be what could potentially throw them off a little bit without Skit in there. Yo, Chandler, thank you for the follow. But then, yeah, Shagroid also up here for VR Shockwave. And Danimal is in the lobby for Cobra NA, so even losing Skit and all of those stats he's been racking up, Cobra NA's still got Danimal, still got Good Bet, and whoever their third is today to back them up. All right, let's go back to the game here. See who's in the lobby right now. So over here, going over the team letters so y'all can keep track a little better of who's who once this lobby's getting started. Team A over here, that's going to be VR Stunners. Team C for Cobra, it looks like. With Good Bet, Danimal, and Iggy the Rat. We've got Team B is going to be VR Shockwave. They've got Shagroid, Zav QC, and Pig. VRS Pig here, a little spread out, but Team B will be VR Shockwave. See, Team E over here is going to be Supreme Genesis, Mr. Awesome Jr., Pig Pumpkin, and Colin the 5. Team G is Supreme Fatal. Chimkin Man. Definitely not on the same team as C. Brad, the lobby host in here, but we will see. It looks like he's probably waiting for his teammates. So that's why he is sitting here talking to the lobby host, letting him know. Hold up a second, my teammates are coming. They're on their way. Hopefully, for Supreme Fatal, those teammates are on the way. See, I think the 2 favorites are probably going to be Cobra Cartel NA, Good Bet, Danimal, Iggy the Rat, and then VR Shockwave with Shagroid, Zav QC, and VRS Pig. The third is going to be harder to pick because after those quarterfinals, all of the teams who are in here are so good. And I see there Braxton So joins in for Supreme Fatal. It's definitely hard to pick that third team. If I had to take a shot in the dark, maybe, I don't know, Supreme Genesis maybe, if I had to just take a wild guess. But I could see any of those other 4 teams making it into the top 3. But I would be surprised to see Cobra NA not make it through for sure, even without having their #1 statistical player so far, Skit, out. And it looks like no third yet for Team F, Supreme Fatal. We'll see if they do get a third to help out Braxton. They're definitely going to want a third. You know, we did see a team scrape by in the quarterfinals last week with only 2 out of 3 for 3 out of their 4 games, but I don't think that's going to fly today. Players are going to need to get every point they can for their team, have every opportunity to stay alive, and there it does look like they have a third. Blunt joining in. And that's pretty funny, because I'm assuming that is the player formerly known as Dab, perhaps switching allegiance to the Blunts. Who are you allegiant to rooting for in this semifinals, chat? As our players are dropping in for game 1 of 5. That's right, 5 games in these semifinals. 1 extra game versus the regular season for these players to sort it out. No hot drops here. First to pull their pods on the right here, Team F is Supreme Fatal. Also pulling pods on the other side of Outpost is Team B, VR Shockwave. A little bit of space between those two teams. Full lobby of 6 teams here, as we have VR Stunners dropping over Kingdom. Some early sniper shots being taken. Had some flyers early, but nothing connecting. Let's see where these other teams land. A couple teams landing in Metro. We've got Team D leading from VR Synergy, getting tagged a little bit from that CX4 of Colin the 5. Joe, watch out for that Seiko. He drops down, avoiding the line of sight of that sniper. To loot up some more, but some early aggression there from Colin. Getting some damage, trying to get that first blood in with the CX4. Still taking some shots over here, though, with the FAL as Mr. Awesome Jr. And then the last team is Cobra NA. Nah, it's feeling the blunt. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, yeah. You're right. They do have that guy in their team, too. I guess there's certainly one thing that the roster, or at least some players from the Supreme Fatal roster, have in common there. What's going on, Ryan? Mr. Awesome Jr. sorting his inventory real quick. I saw a gold gun in there. Was that his gold P90? He only dropped it for a moment, but that may be an absolute beam for him. And he's walking over to Summit with Danimal solo at Summit right now. We'll see if they get an isolated fight or if Mr. Awesome Jr. actually gets 3v1. As Danimal is right here. The other two for Cobra NA also moving in towards Summit. Mr. Awesome Jr. already in here, only moving in deeper. Maybe getting himself into a sticky situation. I'll check the zone real quick. Okay, so really, the frontier is mostly in the zone. That corner is kind of where the zone's going. Zeus, SMH, VRS. Too much VRS, am I right? Mr. Awesome Jr. does have backup from Metro. And Mr. Awesome Jr. has found a little spot down here and an angle to rotate away from the 3v1 and not get completely isolated and picked up. There is the AWP there, and that might be a gold off for Iggy the Rat. Looks like he got 95 damage on that. Dropped the blue op, so yeah, it looks like an early gold AWP for Iggy the Rat, one of the OG players from launch day. Yeah, twice in a row. All 3 VRS teams advancing from that quarterfinal lobby. And while Cobra NA is dropping back a little bit, not looking to hold that Summit position too hard, Iggy the Rat checking the drop and checking some loot over here. We do have another fight breaking out over here. Team D, Synergy, running into Shockwave. And with 3 VRS teams in the lobby, we're going to have a lot of VRS versus VRS action. We've got Avon above Snicklefritz in the Metro area, leading, dropping down to regroup in that area. They do have a little bit of zone in Metro here, but it will likely not last. It's just a sliver. And it looks like Even losing a lot of his shields again. But it looks like VR Shockwave not looking to push across the open street here. Content with their spot. And yeah, Ryan, there is always a little bit of visual issues with the caster too. Always just assuming that it's something that I'm dealing with and not everybody else. Shagroid actually does take a different angle here for Shockwave. Really trying to hold TD in that corner underneath Plaza. Content to burn in the zone. He's got a couple bananas. Already ate one. Not sure how much loot he has there. And just after I said that, assuming that the little bit of lag I'm seeing is on my end too. Hoping. And Shagroid super content to take a big flank here. Going all the way around. Both of his teammates in defiance with Zob on the pop one side and Shagroid all the way around on the other side of Gun Store. We'll see if they condense. No, Shagroid just looking to retreat to his team. Now getting shot by a third team. That's Supreme Genesis. Mr. Awesome Jr. shooting at him from Summit. Shagroid on the run. Dropping builds behind him. Popping shields as he goes up to Banana. And worked himself into a sticky situation for sure. Probably would have been fine if there was only the one team for him to worry about, but now he's getting hit tagged as he climbs up, and Colin with the AWP. Finally the first blood for Supreme Genesis. And Team D getting pinned down underneath in Metropolis is really hurting them now. They're burning in the zone. They've got a street to move through, and they've got Team E, Supreme Genesis, right above them. Pink Ponage electing not to burn in the zone, just to hold them in that street. Gonna drop back. Let's check the zone real quick. Kingdom's a little bit in the zone. That's where VR stunners are set up all the way in that corner. Cobra NA in the middle of the map, feeling the space that they have. Team F, Supreme Fatal rotating back to the zone. Team B, VR Shockwave made it out of that sticky situation. Shagroid still dead, but Pig and Zob QC at least with an opportunity to only fight one squad to make it in the zone, but they will have to go through Supreme Fatal. Chimkim Man taking big shots at Zob. Sorting his inventory real quick. Pig getting tagged by Braxton's AWP. And it's looking tough for VR Shockwave as they're trying to move in from the tower to planes. Chimkim Man keeping the pressure on Zob's builds with that M60. So good at breaking builds. That gun. Shagroid does get revived in the tower by Pig. But he's burning in the zone. And Braxton creating his own high ground up here. Looking for the angle with that AWP. And gonna drop back. Let's check on the rest of the lobby. Is there a ton of teams over here? Team F doing a nice job holding that corner of the zone for now. Should be able to work it. Team E, Supreme Genesis moving in. Pink Ponage probably leading the way to their best spot here. This brown barn. Colin will make it. Mr. Awesome, though, goes down to Danimal. And Team D still trying to make it in from this corner as well. This is a really tough corner for this zone to make it into. Leading, though, able to find a spot behind some builds and hay bales. Taking the head peek, trying to alleviate some pressure. Ooh, you'd see Danimal be so lethal. Flicking the heads of those head peekers with that AWP. And now Shagroid trying to make it into the zone. He goes down. Pig trying to build for his life. Keep his team alive in this game one. VR Shockwave on the ropes. And Zob is still alive for VR Shockwave. Took a huge rotation around here, and there is actually some space in Kingdom. He may be able to sneak in behind VR Stunners here. Back on the other side, Cobra NA collapsing. Trying to punish Avon as he wants to move in from the zone. He's got absolutely nowhere to go. He builds his way in, but good bet collects him with the MP5. They are still alive as a team, though. Pink Ponage and Colin the 5 moving way toward Frontier. Now, it's Synergy above Cobra NA. Snicklefritz reviving Avon for Synergy. Leading, building to avoid a lot of those P90 bullets. With Avon underneath. Good bet drops down with the shotgun. P90 kill. Oh, Avon at close range with the S85 takes down Good Bet. Danimal and Iggy still alive. Avon with another S85 close range kill, using it like a shotgun. Now leading versus Danimal. Leading spraying with the M60. He's got the DT ready for Danimal. Wants to finish off Cobra NA right now. Danimal able to pop a banana, but he's still 2 shots of that DT. Leading can land it, and he does land it. Quick reload. Leading able to stay alive. Take down Cobra NA. And the favorites in the lobby, the first ones to go down here, stayed in that corner looking for kills just a little bit too long. Supreme Fatal taking shots across Kingdom at VR Stunners, and Zob was able to sneak into this corner and get the revive off Pig and Shagroid alive. Shagroid looking for loot in the zone. And VR Stunners, their strategy seems apparent early. Stay super tight, super grouped up. Just don't look for any pushes. Just hold your ground as Chem Imbalance takes the tag. Collins off. And Zone Grenades, a great way to counter that sort of gameplay when all 3 players are grouped up. They're all 3 taking damage from those Zone Grenades. And even though the Zone Grenade came from Zav on the other side, Team E using that as their opportunity to push in. Mr. Awesome climbing up. He's got the dual wheel Uzis. Looking for one player, but Demo with the backup takes him down. Pink Pwnage and Colin trying to push in. Pink Pwnage gets a kill. Colin goes down. Pink Pwnage versus Cosmic Veyron 1v1 here. Pink Pwnage with the DT, but can't get full 64s on both shots. Cosmic able to get the wipe. Chimkin Man takes down Leading on the other side, wiping out Team D. So it just went from 5 no, it's not a wipe over here. We've still got another squad pulling in Zob QC. But he's got 1 health left. He's dropping back. And he's gonna chill in this corner. So much action there. More action here as Braxton's converging. Chicken Man in the face of Shagroid. Now Braxton getting shot by Pink's P90 Blunt with the backup DT, keeping Braxton alive. And the last one goes down for the squad, and Zav has done an amazing job absolutely scumming this second place finish. But now it's a 3v1, him versus Supreme Fatal, and he just jumps into the zone to deny them the kill. Wow. So VR Stunners in third, it looked like. VR Shockwave somehow getting into second place. I thought they were going to be the first team out there. But Zav escaped my sights and escaped everybody. Made a sick rotation. Keep the dream alive. Get that second place. And then Supreme Fatal doing a nice job holding out at Plains. Getting the entire Plains locked down. Finding some space in Kingdom. And using the zone to their advantage to get the win. So I'll pull up the bracket here. So just a reminder, that's only game 1 of 5. Still got 4 games left here. And even though on the bracket it says that this other semifinal was yesterday, there were some technical issues. So that semifinal will be happening on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. So if you're seeing that lobby on the left, wondering who advanced, getting some FOMO since you missed it, no, that lobby is still going to go down on Wednesday. I think 1 or 2 games from that lobby will be counted as the technical issues didn't occur immediately, but still at least 3 games left for that lobby on the left there. Semifinal 1, but here, semifinal 2, already got 1 game in the books. And I'll pull up the scores after game 2 probably. But that first game, the big surprise is seeing Cobra NA, the first team wiped out. Not able, they maybe got 3-4 kills in there, but 6th place is not what they're looking for. So they're already not getting that 30 points every game that we saw from them in the quarterfinals. Competition's tougher. These teams playing much more connected. And every single team in the lobby playing with synergy, including synergy, getting some hype in the chat with Leading clutching up against Cobra NA. Yeah. Yeah, Avon clutched it up, leading with the S85 to get 2 down and give Avon that opportunity. Yeah, I don't know. That rotation from Zav was sick there. Thought he was totally dead. Thought that he was already dead when I saw Pig go down. But that was just a big brain play from VR Shockwave there. Had Pig go all the way in. Pig and Shagred going in. Got Supreme Fatal to collapse onto them. Focus all of their strength on getting those 2 eliminated as they rotated into the zone. And then Zav took the wide angle all the way around to Kingdom. And by the time he made it there, VR Stunners already had moved a little bit out of that corner, allowing Zav to find that spot right in the corner of the zone to revive his teammates. We do have a moment here. I'll pull up the scores for a brief second. Yeah, 4 games left. This is a 5-game lobby. Semifinals having more games than all of the other lobbies we've seen this season. Okay, nope, never mind. No time for scores. So far, though, I'll tell you guys, VR Stunners, VR Shockwave, and Supreme Genesis all pretty tight between 14 and 17 points. Synergy at 13. Cobra NA at 8.8, and Supreme Fatal, no score in for them yet, but they may have the highest score right now. Nobody clearly pulling ahead after game 1. Everybody's still in the running here. And we do have a hot drop this game. It's going to be VR Shockwave. Team B over here. Shagroid, Pig, Zav. Supreme Genesis dropping to Outpost. Supreme Fatal gonna take their pods to Kingdom. Ooh, hearing some shots is leading. Finds Iggy the Rat out of the air. Jumped out of his pod too early and leading, punishing. Gets ACX4 shot on Daniel. Not gonna want to peek the Seiko too much. So just like last game, the CX4 user on top of King Kong's tower. Sees a Seiko shooting at him, drops off. Your friend Mud. This guy gets it. Thanks, bro. So Iggy the Rat does get revived by Danimal over here. Where's the third for Cobra NA here? Oh, good bet. Kind of on the other side of Synergy here. And we saw... There is M60s in this game. Yes, we saw the M60 used last game. Especially when holding another team out of planes. And Goodbet already taking a nice angle to rotate around Synergy. This angle definitely going to get him around leading in Snickle Fritz. Not sure where the third is for Team D. But we do have VR Stunners over here at Frontier. They're going to have to move into the zone. Same with the Kingdom team. Fatal over at Kingdom. But so far after that first blood, no early action here.
Battle zone is now shrinking.
Iggy the Rat still looking for a heal after getting revived there. No bananas or sodas to be seen, I suppose. But while there's no action, let's check out the zone a little bit. VR Shockwave is getting a little bit close to Cobra NA here. Zav moving in closer to Complex. Now, he definitely knows where Daniel is. Gets shot up a few times. Has some shields to get back near full health. Animal discouraging that position with the zone grenade. 5 damage with the zone, but using it for zoning purposes there. creating an extra slot in his inventory by throwing it. Ooh, and Pig from Shockwave getting shot from behind by Team D, Supreme Genesis from the tower. And Pig now trying to move back toward his teammates. So, Zav at Construction, Shagroid more near Pop and Chicken, Pig in Defiance Park. A little bit of space in between all these all these players on Team B, VR Shockwave, trying to regroup before they get a fight in, especially with all these teams on all sides don't want to get caught up like that. Somebody please pick up this sniper ammo for my sanity. Thank you, Pig. Good bet. Good bet, M60 aforementioned. Breaking Pig's build's getting a little damage there. So both these teams already in the zone. Nobody forced to push into each other right now, but Good Bet looking to take the aggro right here. Or at least get a little bit closer with his head peek. Danimal moving in a little bit from the right to... Ooh, Good Bet flies in the air, takes a little bit of damage from Zov's rapid fire. Now working his way inside the complex wall. Good Bet looking to get real close. Probably has a shotgun if he's wanting to get this close, right, folks? But right now, it's just... Oh, Shagroid with the stealth. Shagroid with the stealth shotgun. Not getting huge damage off the rip, but he's got Good Bet on shields. No shields for Good Bet. Danimal winning with the backup. M10, though. Shagroid, nice movement. Up top, drops down, gets Danimal low, but goes down. And all of Cobra NA tightly grouped up in here. Pig and Shagroid both down. Zav solo on the run again. Other side of the map. Supreme Fatal tightly grouped up near the archway. And Supreme Genesis a little bit spread out, looking to hold them in that corner. Looks like Supreme Fatal trying to rotate toward Collins' direction. Let's see what else is going on here. Zone gonna be kind of a Summit Foothills farmland zone here. And once again, we see Team A VR Stunners playing a very conservative style of gameplay. Ooh, trying to time up their shots on Colin, but only one landing there.
Madison is now shrinking.
And Supreme Fatal, much more grouped up than Supreme Genesis right now, especially with Colin all alone, getting chased by all of Team F. And that gives Supreme Fatal a nice opportunity to rotate into the zone. Big open field for them to rotate through here, but Team A is so far off in the distance, they won't really be able to prevent them from advancing there. So we'll see Team F get this corner. Team A's already got their corner. But now Pink Ponage actually collapsing in here for Supreme Genesis. His two teammates back here. We'll see what Supreme Genesis decides to do on this engagement. Ooh, Colin, that side peek, not the best against these good op users. Given a big hitbox available to hit for the op from Braxton, I believe there. And all of these teams near Defiance are outside the zone right now. The corner of zone is over here with Snickle Fritz. Ooh, Zav getting headshotted by a purple op over here. Looks like maybe Iggy the Rat or Good Bet. And Mr. Awesome Jr. all alone here, getting caught by Avon from Synergy. Ooh, Good Bet fighting Shagroid. Shagroid looking for revenge. He tried to get Good Bet earlier before Danimal came and helped him out. Good Bet able to escape once again. Such good reactions and good builds, keeping himself alive. That's why Good Bet feels comfortable getting in those up close and personal situations. That movement and building allows him to stay alive. Pig almost goes down, dropping through the air to Iggy Rat's AKM. And this is becoming a tough push for VR Shockwave. They've got one team, Cobra NA, rotating parallel. Another team from the Rocks, Supreme Genesis, much more grouped up at the Rocks now. And Team D right above them on the pop one side, but leading, getting tagged hard by Danimal's off. Good Bet able to rotate underneath as Danimal applying that pressure, opening up that space, preventing leading from just staring them down. And now it looks like they might want to climb up the tower, challenge them on that high ground. Oh, Good Bet in here challenging Snickle Fritz, and Good Bet taking all these close range fights with no shotgun, and he finally gets punished for it. Danimal up top, we know he does have a decent M10 on his person, ready for some close range action here. staying in the zone until he goes to 50 health. So he can use that banana. Good bet scouting for him as it goes here, so he knows exactly where Avon is. See what Animal decides to do. Cobra NA, surprising last place in game 1. We'll see if they can recover here, but in a bad zone position once again, with the full squad right in front of him on the top 1 side. One of the early surprises here. Cobra NA is struggling to get their footing. Iggy the Rat now trying to find a way in, but Snicklefritz gets him through the window. So now only 1 left here. And leading an Avon. Can hear him burning in the zone. Ooh, Danimal, nice job shredding those builds, leading on lower health. Avon taking a closer head peek on hard cover, not wanting his hard cover to get shredded by some bullets. And now both these teams gonna have to go back. Team D may be able to take out Danimal here. And Avon takes him down. Avon dies outside the zone, and once again, it may be a repeat of last game. Synergy, Team D taking down all of Cobra NA, but doing so, getting themselves in a position where they're way outside the zone with a long way to go. So they got to make it in with Pink Ponage and the rest of Supreme Genesis staring them down. Ooh, 132 there from Synergy, headshotting Pink Ponage. Mr. Awesome Jr. trying to hold it down. A lot of FAL shots hitting there, and Pink Ponage drops Avon with the AKM. So Team D trying to push in on that angle. VR Shockwave has this angle open for them to push in. And on the other side, we have VR Stunners trying to hold Supreme Fatal out of the zone. Braxton pushing it underneath. That zone grenade is going to be huge to give them the space to push in, force them off that big red barn high ground. Ooh, Mr. Awesome Jr. takes down Snicklefritz, so the only one left here
Battle zone shrinking in.
for VR Synergy is leading. And now the zone starts. The zone finally hits the ticking of the zone, ticks up, and leading may be able to find an opening here to get to this position in the rocks. Oh, missing the shotgun battle over here. Looks like a 2v2. No, actually it's a 3v1. Zav and Pig going down. Only Shagroid left here. Big plays for Supreme Fatal. As VR Shockwave tried to push up the hill, get the third party, but instead found VRS so ready for it. Oh, and leading actually just revived his squad. He dies outside the zone. Avon dies outside the zone. They're trying to farm reses out here in desperation as Synergy. We'll keep an eye on that in the kill feed. And Shagroid also in desperation, just hiding inside. Actually not inside the barn here, outside the barn on this hay bale. So 2 teams in desperation, 3 teams in full force. But out of those 3 teams, only Team F already in the zone. Team A and Team E about to run into each other, though. Supreme Genesis versus VR Stunners. Mr. Awesome Jr. in the face, taking a lot of damage. Luckily, that's his own grenade from his teammates. Not going to damage him. Oh, and Colin trying to push across and support Mr. Awesome Jr. Gets caught from the other angle by Braxton. Now Shagroid ticking in the zone. They hear him. Able to revive his teammates. Pig still alive, looking for another revive, but Chimkin finishes them off. Back on the other side, VR Stunner is still trying to make it in. And Chem Imbalance actually has a nice corner zone. Cosmic Veyron getting Mr. Awesome so low. And gets him down, but Angelic once again from that left angle. Supreme Fatal getting kills on the third party from range. And once again, Braxton getting a kill from this off angle. 3 kills for Supreme Fatal on this off angle. And they know Chem Imbalance is up in there. And another win as Angelic goes in with the DT to finish it. And nice guns, nice gold op there, Braxton. And another nice win there for Supreme Fatal. I did not pick them to be one of the 3 teams to advance moving into this lobby, but they've been playing very cohesively as a team so far here. And on the flip, we have Cobra NA, the team that myself and others would have thought to be the favorite. Not, they've been playing together from time to time, but haven't been playing together with zone positioning. And they've died to Synergy twice now. So I'll restart my pop 1, get that caster tool working. We'll see if these teams put in their scores for us to check out here. Yeah, Mudzov sneaking away again. But that time, missed out on their shotgun fight a little bit there. They pushed up towards Supreme Fatal, who were already in that big red barn foothills position, and not able to win that close range battle there. Had a 3v3 at close range, just could not capitalize. I'm going to refresh these scores until... Okay, we do have some scores in here. Pull them up for a moment. Check it out. So if y'all want to view the scores yourselves, feel free to go to vrel.gg and just keep clicking everything Population 1 related till you find yourself in the right spot. And man, this is kind of hiding what we want to see in the scores, because Supreme Fatal won both of those games. VR Stunners put in first place. That they meant to put in second place there, because we all know Supreme Fatal finished that win. But VR Stunners playing their passive style, not getting too in the thick of the action, able to get into a reliable second place there. But I'm assuming Supreme Fatal's in first, since they did win both of those first two games and had quite a few kills in those two games. Probably at least 6 kills in each of those matches. But second through fourth place are so tight right now. 34, 33, 32 for VR Stunners, Synergy, and Supreme Genesis. And the two teams that before I was saying would be making it through, the two favorites, VR Shockwave and Cobra NA, not making it through. Yeah, and Tumbleweed in the chat was one of the top 3 average damage per game players on the spreadsheet, so I'm a little surprised to not see him being used here. And likewise for Cobra NA, actually, since I'm referencing some stats, I believe Tumbleweed number 3 overall in average damage, and then you've got Skit, the number 1 player in the power ranks here, out today for Cobra NA. I'm assuming they would have had him in if they had the option. But maybe a little bit of a lack of chemistry when that cohesion for your team is at a premium. I'm going to check one more time, see if we have a score from Supreme Fatal. Okay, yeah, we do. Pull up these scores again. Yo, Aussie B, what's going on? Silver, yeah, Braxton going off. He had the gold AWP. They were doing it at close range as a squad. And they did so much work at long range after wiping out Shockwave that they could easily roll in and finish off the lobby there. Very smartly played there. And yeah, Skit is insane. So are Danimal and Goodbet, who are still in this lobby, but we just haven't seen them get the advantageous zone positions they would need to really play through this lobby without having that full cohesion and full power. Haven't played since last week's VRL Tumbleweed. Yeah, I totally understand that. If you haven't played in a full week, you can get rusty real quick. You need some sort of warm-up. Gotta get in form. And yeah, Mud, there is a solid argument. The statistics are backing you up there. But no Skit today. And no Tumbleweed today either. Yeah, whenever you don't have enough time to prepare over the week, that's something that isn't talked about enough in these lobbies. Even if it is a team that has played together a lot, if you're not in the moment having that synergy, as I perfectly lock onto VR synergy here, if you don't have that synergy as a team, it doesn't matter how skilled you are or how much you've played in the past. If you don't have it dialed in on game day. So synergy is potting out. Hot drop from VR Shockwave, Cobra NA dropping the Kingdom. So those are the bottom two teams right now. A lot of teams right around that 33-point mark. Supreme Fatal at number 1 at about 50 points. And then at 22 and 18, we got VR Stunners working on fixing their scores. Oh yeah, I guess they have a little bit less than that 34. Oh yeah, that was top 5 stats, I believe. I think top 5 overall stats in terms of... Oh, we got an op kill off the bat early. Mr. Awesome Jr. Angelic Messenger going in a little bit too deep into Cemetery here. The rest of his squad over at Outpost. And he is cleaned up quickly by the AWP. First blood there for Supreme Genesis. Yeah, okay, those were Sloth's choices.
Supply drop deploying to the
Thank
frontier.
you, Sloth, for providing that graphic. And Team E, with that early kill, looking to close the gap, push over toward Outpost a little bit, but Braxton did a good job discouraging that push. Hitting a lot of FAL shots on both Mr. Awesome and Pink Potage, but Braxton sees that op bullet go by his head, knows he's got to head responsibly, not fully display his hitbox to the other team. Okay, so that isn't just pure stats, power ranks, but those are all players with top tier statistics. They were able to revive Angelic Messenger. They've dropped down toward the tower to get their loot on. I'll check in with the rest of the lobby real quick here. We've got Synergy at Metropolis and Stunners over at
Battle zone
Foothills.
is now shrinking.
Cobra NA rolling through the drop over to Farmlands. And although Supreme Genesis got that early pick over at Cemetery, they've been hanging out in Cemetery for a minute. And that's the opposite corner of the zone that they need to be in. Looks like Colin's going to lead the way. Probably going to want to go through Defiance to find some zone here. We'll see how that goes for them. But on the other side, Cobra NA has been moving way across the map, all the way from Kingdom. Almost made it to Frontier. And they may be looking to find an early fight against Team A. VRS Stunners. And if you're wanting an isolated fight, you want to do it early, because look at the map. Nobody near. Oh, good bet. Trying to cross the open field. Cosmic Bear on so ready with the RFB. Good bet goes down. Danwell probably going to want to revive that ASAP. Trying to drop down to a safer position. Train station, a good place to get the revive with some hiding spots and some loot to boot. Ooh, whose op is that? Shagroid. Coming all the way from the 9s at Observatory on the drop. Now made it to Frontier. So not only is Cobra NA making a lot of movement across the map, but Shockwave following them. And once again, we've had Cobra NA be a little bit split off. Danimal and Goodbet. Of course, Goodbet just revived here by Danimal. That's why they're grouped up. But Iggy the Rat very separated from the rest of his teammates. And it's game 3 out of 5. And yeah, surprising there in last, but a bit of a glimpse of why. Just not fully on the same page. And when you're making those pushes to get to another team, you gotta be so tightly grouped up. Not executing at that 10 out of 10 level that we've seen from Cobra NA in the past. Shagroid looking out the doorway with his AWP. Iggy doesn't really play anymore. Okay, yeah. Wasn't sure if Iggy had
Battle
been
zone
making
shrinking
more of a
in
comeback
60 seconds.
or this was just a cameo from one of the classic players. Looks like more of the latter. According to Mud here, ooh, Shagroid flying open. Gets tagged by an AWP from Demolition, I believe. Only 2 deaths so far. Goodbet dying. Angelic Messenger dying, but everybody back alive now. For the most part, everybody grouped up with their teams with the exception of Iggy right now. These 2 teams outside the zone have been fighting since the beginning of the game. Supreme Fatal and Supreme Genesis. Ooh, Danimal at DT range. They're closed in. Only Goodbet alive here in the box. He's getting big damage on Chemical Imbalance. Chemical Imbalance trying to fight back with his P90. But down goes the full squad for Team A. VR Stunners thought they could get a 3v2, but unable to do so. And now the third party here from Zav and Shagroid. VR Shockwave looking to clean up Cobra NA. Except it's only 2 out of 3 members for them, so unless Iggy the Rat dies independently, they will survive. Shagroid picking up and immediately throwing his own grenade, forcing Goodbet out of the ticket booth into the zone. And up in the top of Frontier, Shagroid still finding an angle from the bridge. Both of these guys pushing in with their rapid fire. Zav and Shagroid stop looking to collect Goodbet as he goes in from the zone. Triangulating how to catch up with him with those Matadors, slowing his climb a little bit, but gets him with the Maddies. And now Danimal running into Synergy. And this is going to be the 3rd game in the row where we see Synergy keeping Cobra down bad. Yeah, prayers up for Iggy because now Danimal's down and Cobra NA relying on Iggy in this game 3. So Goodbet and Danimal gonna take the walk of shame. Iggy all the way over in the middle of farmlands. Not the best place to be isolated and alone and centralized. So leading on Saloon, shooting at Zav and Shagroid, but Shagroid getting underneath Avon. Watch those 2 take the shotguns now. Shagroid versus Avon, and Shagroid gets Avon. Watch out from behind. Snickle Fritz comes in, gets the kill with the M10. Too much bullet noise to hear those footsteps. Zav in tight with the Maddies. Gets 1. He's got leading. Looking for the second to clutch up and finish off Team D. Ooh, but takes a lot of damage, both from the zone grenade and from the bullets there. Gonna be forced to drop back, which is totally fine for them as Shagroid able to get revived in that situation. Just pushing Snickle Fritz away from the squad, giving his team some time to get back up. And other side of the map, Iggy the Rat Diz get 2 revives off. Braxton takes down Goodbet. Cobra NA getting farmed. Not what you expect from them on any day. Zone grenade going onto the barn. Breaking those builds before moving in. Iggy the Rat getting some damage with this rapid fire. Going solo. Danimal playing the camp strategy. Gonna need it now. Gonna need some knife action to clutch up. But no, Braxton with the MP5 wipes out Cobra NA. So 6th place and now 5th place for Cobra NA. Still probably gonna be in last in the lobby after game 3. And huge surprise there. We're going to have to see some huge games from them in games 4 and 5. They want to make a comeback. Right here, we've got Supreme Genesis. All of Team D inside this building, right in between Genesis and Team B. So 3 teams up at Frontier, but none of them in the zone, actually. The zone all the way down here. So Team F already with kind of an advantage there. Mr. Awesome Jr. trying to drop back to the zone for Team E, but realizing it's not going to be easy to just hold this corner of the zone as there's going to be a lot behind him. Oh, but up close, zone grenade on the Team E's building. Shagroid looking to close the gap. Got the DT. Going to work his way bottom up, not letting them drop down the stairs. Oh, that zone grenade's ticking hard. They drop back. The Colin gets the kill as they try to run away from that zone grenade. Shagroid knowing there's only 2 alive inside now. Gets 1, takes down Avon, Snickle Fritz low. Shagroid so smooth with the movement and with the DT. Able to get the wipe. No more Synergy alive here. Synergy been playing well as a team, but just getting into sticky situations and positions. Shagroid, look at him spam those builds. That trigger finger allowing him to move across space without taking damage. But outside the zone, Zav, we've seen him make some sick rotates alone. This time, leading the team, saying, hey guys, follow me through the zone. We can make it to the hay bales. They are going to see Shagroid make that rotate. And we'll see if Pig is able to catch up as well. Azab with a nice idea. Broke his leg. Shagroid shooting at him as they show their feet a little bit.
60 seconds.
And there, Supreme Genesis does find this corner of zone. Shagroid and Pig. Oh, Shagroid goes down to the Uzis from Colin. This might be a third win in a row here for Supreme Fatal. They had the best zone position since there were 5 teams left.
Supply drop deploying to farmlands.
And they're looking to take advantage of their long-range skills before the lobby condenses again. Keep all these other teams down bad. Hopefully this lag is just on my end as the caster. But Braxton was lethal with the op last game. It was gold last game, so that helps too, but hopefully some caster lag right here. It's tough for us to watch. Looks like the players are able to keep shooting and fighting as Shagroid keeps revived and gets his own loot up. Braxton unable to hit the snipes. Getting hit back by rapid fire instead. And now the zone's going to close. These teams going to make their moves now. Pink Ponage and Shagroid on the same silo here. Shagroid's been so good at these close range fights. Let's see if Pink Ponage gets any backup or how this plays out. As Angelic Messenger takes down Pig with the RFB. Just waiting for this fight to break out. Shagroid's going to hear Pink Ponage now. Drops down looking to get thirsty, but immediately realizing that the teammates are there with the rapid fire. And Shagroid able to hold this high ground for the squad. Zob outside the zone for Shockwave as well. Trying to make it in after reviving Pig. Trying to build a little bit closer to his teammate Shagroid. Trying to channel the powers of Shaggy Rogers right now. As it looks like his teammates are in a bad spot. Shagroid just going to try and lay low. Like we saw Zob do in previous games, as Braxton takes down Mr. Awesome with the AWP. Shagroid, seeing that it's now only a 1v2 on this side, moves it a little closer, not afraid to poke the bear anymore. Oh, and they're all converging. Braxton also pushing in. Shagroid up on the high ground with his DT. And Zob finally in for backup. Oh, Pig goes down, so it's a 2v2v3. 2 here for Team B Shockwave, right in front of 2 for Genesis. Shagroid taking shots at Pink Ponage. Now Ponage and Colin burning outside the zone. Shagroid, decent DT damage. Pink Ponage gonna die. Colin, the only one left for the squad. And, oh, nice head beat from Colin. But Zob able to counteract it by going in close to the Matadors. And once again, that zone positioning. Once again, Supreme Fatal able to take the win. Supreme Fatal with 3 wins in a row. And they've punched themselves an inside track to make it to the finals so far. 3 games, 3 wins. And they've been absolutely fatal to anybody crossing their paths, especially in the late game at range as that zone closes in. They know the spots where the players are going to be open. They know how to keep them down bad in their corners and leverage that zone to the win. And it is so weird seeing Cobra NA struggle like this. Both historically, throughout the history of Pop 1, and just throughout the history of VREL, especially in these playoffs when Cobra NA was averaging 30 points per game in the quarterfinals. Now only at 26 points after 3 games. What is that? Less than 9 points a game. But still 2 games left. Plenty of time for anybody to close the gap and get into that top 3. Hope is not dead yet. Yeah, Sloth, Supreme Fatal absolutely showing out today. And once these teams all put their scores in, I will pull them up for y'all to see for a minute here. Okay, we do have them all in. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, get zoomed in a little bit so we don't have to squint too much. So Supreme Fatal, 25 points per game so far. Okay, VR Stunners fix their scores. So these are accurately reflecting the standings right now. Stunners had been playing a very conservative strategy early, finally decided to abandon that strategy just for a moment, drop into the ticket booth under the train, in the train station, and going down to Danimal and Goodbet in that corner. But Danimal and Goodbet, after cleaning up VR Stunners, ran right into VR Shockwave. Nice third party from Shockwave to clean them up. Left only Iggy the Rat alive, and Cobra NA down in 5th place for, well, down in the bottom 2 for the 3rd game in a row after getting 6th place the first 2 games. Let's see, Synergy, pretty consistent in getting that 4th place spot, just not able to find great positioning. Earlier, it was being outside the zone trying to get in. That game, they were outside the ultimate zone in Frontier, but the problem was that they got sandwiched in between 2 teams. And right now, both Supreme teams, with a bit of a gap, used to be tighter between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th before that game 3. Now, a little bit of a gap. Supreme Genesis at about 55, and VR Shockwave and Synergy at 45. So Genesis, a little bit of breathing room in that 2nd place spot away from the bubble. And VR Shockwave and Synergy really tight right now. Basically tied, 45.3, 44.6. With 2 games to go, virtual tie between 3rd and 4th. So gonna be super intense to see who can advance from that bubble. That 3rd and 4th place bubble. Also, yeah, exactly. Anyone can get into the 2nd and 3rd right now, because we know Cobra NA has the skill and the potential to pop off some big games here. But so far, all the big games belonging to Supreme Fatal. 5 kills, 9 kills, 6 kills, 1,500, 2,300, 1,900 damage. Consistent and lethal. And this game has already started, it looks like. Whoa, slow down there. I will pull up the match now. Not sure if we have any kills yet. We've got Supreme Genesis over here at Cemetery with Colin more toward Defiance. VR Shockwave and Metropolis with 2 of the teammates a little bit closer to Summit, Shagroid and Zav. And this stuttering will subside as everything renders in here. Synergy also in Metropolis. And Metropolis not going to be in the zone, so Shagroid and Zav may be wise to be running around getting that zone. Yep, zone killer. It is top 3. We've got VR Stunners dropped kind of Frontier, Farmlands. Free walk into this zone. Cobra NA. Got Goodbet and Danimal here. Where is Iggy the Rat?
Battle zone is now shrinking.
All the way at the tower, getting his loot on independently. And Supreme Fatal right here. When's the other semifinal going to be played? Wednesday. Same time on Wednesday, 9 Eastern, Wednesday night. None of y'all missed out on the full semifinal 1 as it was rescheduled for Wednesday. And no kills early, but now Pig trying to hold the line in this corner. Oh, not able to make it across. Not using his builds there. Should have used them. Going through that open field. But losing them on the ground instead of losing all that loot on top of it. So Shagroid gonna drop back to his teammate Zav here. So no more holding Synergy in that Metropolis quarter. They're able to get that first blood onto Pig. open themselves up that path to defiance. That is kind of going to push... Whoa. A lot of stuttering there. That is going to push Team B toward Frontier, a little bit toward VR Stunners. We'll see if they run into each other. And notably for Stunners, Team A here, they do have VRS Demolition quite a ways away from the rest of the squad. And oof. Finding some very mid-tier gold guns here. That purple DT, though, very nice. Despite the CX4, UMP, MK18, not guns of choice for many competitive players there. So not a ton of interaction so far between these teams. And yeah, Iggy the Rat is on top of the tower now. Let's see what he sees. He can see all of Supreme Genesis at Observatory, as well as all of Supreme Fatal at Observatory. Able to call those out for his teammates just as well as we can from this caster POV. So Danimal and Goodbet know exactly what they're working with here. Ooh, communicating well to time up those first shots on Angelic Messenger. Unfortunately for them, no AWPs to land those shots. Otherwise, Angelic would have been dead with that accuracy. Now Braxton tagging back with his own AWP, hitting Danimal and Goodbet both with the body shot. And yes, these teams did run into each other. Pig got revived for Shockwave. And VRS Demo is coming in from behind for backup. Zob getting chased underneath. Cosmic with the DT, but Zob finding a nice head peek on the box. Great map awareness, knowing where the head peek. Pig goes down up there. Shagroid in the face of Demolition with that DT though. Zob takes down Cosmic Veyron underneath the train station. Wow! We missed the double kill underneath the train station from Zob as Shagroid takes down Demo in the 1v1.
Battle zone is now shrinking.
And quickly, after Pig is that juicy bait, the rest of VR Shockwave able to clean it up. And nice loot here as well. Purple AKM. More fighting over here. I hear some gunshots. Sounds like just ranged AKM spray for now. And Iggy the Rat has moved from the tower pin drop position to the windmill pin drop position. So playing the silent scout right now. We'll see if he decides to go for a pin drop at some point or if he just tries to reposition from this. And from here we can see Supreme Fatal moving from right to left because we have those name tags. Not sure if Iggy the Rat was able to see that and call it out for his teammates who are right now on top of the castle. And this is looking like a tough spot for Cobra NA. They've got Supreme Fatal, who's been dominating this lobby so far. Moving in. Harmonica and Revive Paddles just for fun over here. And now they finally find them. They time up those first shots. Danimal able to drop down inside here and survive. Ooh, Shagroid going down to the RFB. Oh yeah, Shagroid went in 1v3 into that spot. A little overzealous. And wow, great rotation here from Cobra NA, seeing the only path they have out of here. We'll see if they're able to survive it and keep their heads down with those moment-to-moment movements using hard cover, but absolutely choosing the right path. Both to get away from the heat, away from the sandwich, and to get toward their teammate Iggy the Rat. Got Supreme Genesis here at Kingdom. Synergy right here at Kingdom. They need a big game. They're 10 points behind that, you know, third and fourth at about 45 points. Synergy at about 35 points going into this game. They need to catch up. Tightly grouped up now, and a new zone hits. Where is it? Oh, all plains with a little bit of farmlands. Definitely going to want this farmlands hardcover for the long game. A Goodbet on the ground, getting shot up. Pink Ponage with the M60, not letting Goodbet's builds be useful at all there in the open field. And Iggy the Rat, instead of going for the aggressive pin drop to help out his teammates. Ooh, Danimal trying to build, heal, and rotate through. All of Supreme Genesis staring his way. And a lot of open field for Danimal to move through. Speedy Banana. But with the full squad staring him down from the high ground, will it be enough? Can he build his way over? M60 making it so hard for Danimal to make it anywhere. Nicely flying and building to move quickly through that open field. Iggy the Rat dead revive. Good bet right here. And they are at the corner of the zone, but good bet goes down. Zav gets the kill. But a more intense fight converging here as Avon killed, revived, right on his loot, so he may have a chance to still be a threat in this fight. Supreme Fatal, for once, not having a great zone, but again, getting the kill onto Avon, Chimkin, man. And they have wrapped around to get zone advantage on Team D, but Chimkin, man, getting shredded. Ooh, close range there. Angelic Messenger takes down leading. One left for Team D. Synergy needs a clutch up right here, but no, Angelic able to drop down from up top. And Supreme Fatal, once again, taking down whoever's in front of them all day long.
60 seconds.
Shagroid staring at him, waiting for them to come in. Iggy the Rat on the ground, right next to Pink Ponage. Danimal moving in, try and support Iggy. He's got Pink Ponage right next to him. Danimal with the DT. No help for Danimal, able to get a ton of damage onto Pink Ponage with that DT. Pink Ponage, quick banana to stay alive. Iggy, you gotta get involved right now. While Pink is low, but instead of trying to confirm that kill, keeps his head down, trying to play for stealth right now. Ooh, and Shagroid trying to hold off the entire team again. Oh, and Iggy the Rat able to get one kill on Colin and goes down. Cobra NA getting dunked on once again. Out of sorts. Mr. Awesome Jr. in the face of Pink Ponage. Pushes him out into the open. Actually, Mr. Awesome Jr. taking down Zob QC. Revive Pink Ponage and Colin 5 there. So Supreme Genesis fully revived. Not in the zone yet. And these are the teams that were already in the top 3, looking to extend their lead, keep themselves more safe from getting knocked out in that last game coming up next. But for now, DR's Pig looking to get some better zone position, grab this archway for his team. Chimkin Man's gonna battle him for it. Braxton getting in a little bit close on Supreme Genesis. DR's Pig has the AWP, has the position on this great archway for now. This next zone really has no great spots. These teams, not sure what you want to do here. Shagroid and ZogQC deciding to roll over to this right side of the zone, and on the left, Pig finds the angle. Shagroid moving in tight with his DC-11, but once again runs into a 1v3. Third time this game, Shagroid getting 1v3'd and getting killed, but his team staying alive. But Pig getting pushed, 2v1 on his high ground. He's trying to build and stay alive himself. He's got the DT ready for his close range self-defense, able to take down Chimkin Man. And what is Zav gonna do here? Instead of looking for the aggression, trying to take down Angelic and get a quick second place, looking to play a little more passively from the corner and looking to keep his stealth here.
Battle zone is now
As Team
shrinking.
E converts on to Team F. Chim Kim goes down to the DT. Angelic with the M10 gets one kill. Getting chased by Colin. Smooth under and over, climbing from Angelic Messenger to evade. But Colin still able to secure the kill. Sliding into the zone just in time. One tick away from going down. Because Team E versus Team B both down pretty bad on health right now. But Pink Ponage closing the gap. Only one left to clean up. It's Zav. And Zav goes down to Supreme Genesis. So finally, somebody other than Supreme Fatal able to get a win in this lobby.
Supply drop deploying to the
And it
frontier.
is Supreme Genesis. So only Supreme able to reign supreme so far in this semifinal. And nicely played there from Team E. Planes always is so awkward. So uncomfortable with so much open space for everybody to shoot you from every angle. Able to survive long enough to get the dub. And only one game to go in this semifinal. So don't go anywhere. one more match before we will know for certain the 3 teams that will advance to the final to face off the other teams who will advance on Wednesday, make it to the final a week from today for a chance at that $1,000 prize pool. Refreshing the scores, seeing if we can have a full update before that last game. Still waiting for scores from Stunners and Shockwave right now. But right now, definitely the top 2 going to be Supreme Fatal and Supreme Genesis. Both of those 2 teams looking pretty safe from elimination. We will see who is able to slide into that 3rd place spot. Not all the scores in right now, so not exactly sure who's in 3rd right now. And actually, okay, VR Shockwave definitely in that 3rd place spot here. We'll pull up the scores now. So Supreme Fatal can see finally falling off, but still getting 3rd place, 7 kills. Dominant day from Supreme Fatal. They could probably take this game off if they wanted to. They've done a great job so far in this lobby. Almost at 100 points after 4 games. A solid 26 points ahead of 3rd place. And a solid 30 points, 32 points ahead of 4th place. So it would really take some crazy miracles for them to get surpassed by 3 teams in this final game. So little preemptive congrats to Supreme Fatal for all they've done so far in this lobby, preparing themselves to advance to the finals. And right now, y'all can see here, Supreme Genesis at 82 points. So everybody really just trying to stay ahead of Synergy here. Before those other games, we said Cobra NA and VR Stunners had a chance. And, you know, we have seen Cobra NA put up so many 30-point games in the past. It is still possible they could put up, you know, 34 points. VR Shockwave gets 0 points. It's not out of the cards yet for such a prolific killing machine team like Cobra NA, but we have just not seen anything from them today that would indicate that's something we'll see in this lobby. Really, is Synergy going to be able to surpass Shockwave? And is Supreme Genesis going to be safe as well? Synergy only 6 points behind. But let's go right to the game. Y'all could probably hear those pods going out. Oh! And that's a good start if you want to get a 34-point game. Demolition
6 points remaining.
dropping alone to the death barn, and it is called that for a reason. Daniel now looking for an incredibly long shot. Oh my goodness, he hit Zov in the body there. Took a full 2 seconds for the AWP bullet to travel from one corner of the map to the center of the map. Over here, though, we have Avon going down early. Mr. Awesome Jr. taking down, leading with the ump. Looking for more, looking for a full team wipe, rolling into the gun shop. Both of them on about 100 HP. Mr. Awesome Jr. and Snickle Fritz going up and trying to get out of this area before Mr. Awesome Jr. comes over here. But now Awesome Jr. has support from his Supreme Genesis teammates. Miss him and calling the 5. He's chasing down Snickle Fritz. This is not good for Synergy. This could be game over for Synergy before it even starts. Oh my goodness, no way. They both went right past. Are they gonna come back and find him? Yep, they do find him. Oh no, Synergy. Yo, thank you, Ryan, for the biddies. And I'm feeling more rich and wealthy right now than Synergy is feeling. They were on the bubble coming into this game, and a super rough drop for them at Metro. Immediately fully going down. Oh no. So after that kill, that full squad wipe, that is it for Synergy. Only needed to close a 6-point gap to catch up with VR Shockwave. but now they won't be able to do so. VR Shockwave locked in at 70 points or more, and Synergy not going to be able to
Battlezone
catch
is
up
now
from that
shrinking.
4th place spot. And that'll be it for Synergy. So now we're just waiting to see if something crazy can happen, like Cobra NA having a huge game. Yeah, that hiding spot, Sohamia, for a second they both walked past him, and we all thought for a second, held our breath, like, is he really going to get away with that? But good awareness from Mr. Awesome Jr. and calling the 5, realizing if they're not hearing any footsteps, he's got to be standing still. He can't have gone too far. And he did not go far at all. Just showing everybody a good hiding spot there. And yeah, shout out Sloth. Yeah, I do get all of that sub/bit dough if y'all are feeling super generous today. Appreciate it, Ryan. Good bet and Danimal. Gonna be watching Cobra NA a lot this game because the top 3 teams at about 70 points or more. And so far, Shockwave, I don't think they've got any points over here. Shagroid, Zav, and Pig. But they do have an opportunity to rack up some kills and damage with a squad of 2 coming in. Zav takes most of Chemical Imbalance's shields. Does the same for Cosmic Veron while dodging the op shot. Zav been playing so clean, smart today. With the mechanical action to boot, getting a 2v1 last game, and now a 3v2. He's got support of 2 teammates to get 2 kills on Team A here. VR Shockwave playing this with a lot of discipline from the zone, triangulating Cosmic Veron. This Pig gets the kill as Zop was there on the flank anyway, and now Chem and Balance desperately running away, trying to keep it alive here. For VR Stunners, not looking like they have any hope here. And with VR Shockwave getting some more points, they're confirming their spot in the finals even more. Just with Cobra NA so far behind already, any points at this point for VR Shockwave. Putting them in. Iggy playing Shopping Simulator. Racking up that
Battlezone
leading
shrinking in
statistic.
60 seconds.
You guys play for kills per game, damage per game, win percentage, loot per game. That's what really matters, am I right? Danimal getting shot a lot from those people at the high ground. And now Goodbet, seen him looking for a lot of M60 head peeks this lobby so far. Right underneath Chimkin Man from Supreme Fatal. As Chem and Balance dies outside the zone, but they are doing a revive chain there. They're still chaining those revives outside the zone until we hear that squad wipe noise. Metropolis is the full zone here, so we are going to have a Metropolis final, even if this game and these finals are mostly set with both Supreme teams and VR Shockwave looking to advance.
Battlezone is now shrinking.
It is going to be a fun final match here in Metropolis. The Supreme Fatal grouped up on the apartment's high ground. Danimal and Goodbet grouped up under here. With Iggy not too far this time. And not too far away either, Supreme Genesis. Just one rooftop away from their Supreme counterparts. Whoa. Oh. Angelic flying off, getting punished, taking 2 op shots to the body from Mr. Awesome Jr. Nice quick reload and rescope there. Not able to get the headshot. And nice revive there on to Colin. Gonna have plenty of opportunity here in Metropolis to drop down and loot up. Oh, Braxton, good bet, able to get 2 kills with the M60 from behind. Well-timed third party there, finding 2 open bodies. And Cobra NA would need to do a lot of farming, let teams revive, kill them again, get an insane amount of points this game. They need like a 40, 45 point game if they want to advance here. But in this. But if there's anywhere that teams could drop into corners, revive, open themselves up to getting killed again, the most it would be Metropolis. So maybe a 0.1% chance here for Cobra NA still to advance. And they do have op support. Danimal maybe been the most consistent op player throughout the season. But on the other side, Shockwave also getting kills, making it almost impossible for Cobra NA to catch back up. And yeah, that other side, they are staring at VR Stunners walking in here. They see Chem and Balance walking through the street, and I'm not even going to watch anymore. I can tell y'all right now, VR Stunners is going to die trying to move in from that zone. Iki the Rat also with an AWP here. Good bet, just using the M60 for range, looking to break those builds and open up the angle for his teammates to get the snipes in. Animal in a lot closer here. In the face of Supreme Fatal, right above them at a good angle to hit some op headshots. Something he's been so good at this whole season. Not able to get a headshot, just a body shot there on Chimkin. So you're telling me there's a chance. There is a snowball's chance in hell, I'll tell you that much. It's still technically a chance. You know, there's really nothing stopping teams from getting infinite points because players can revive an infinite number of times.
4 squads remaining.
Get as many kills as possible. But on the other side, finally VR Stunners getting wiped out. Shockwave getting like 4 or 5 kills there. Just widening the gap. Danimal doing his part, getting the kill onto Chimkin, man. He's going to be able to get revived as he is right next to Angelic Messenger. A little bit spread out as Supreme Fatal right now. Angelic right here in the corner. And Braxton reviving Chimkin Man a little bit. In a different position here in Slums. And here is the next zone. Looks like a lot of top shelf in the zone. This is definitely going to be the best position here. And already owning most of top shelf is Supreme Genesis. Early favorites to win this match, depending on where the final zone lands. Supreme Genesis looking for 2 in a row with 4 squads left here. Underneath, Shagroid moving across the gap. You've seen him very willing to take 1v3s, but he does have the support from Zav PC right here. Throws the zone in, that's going to force Braxton. Chimkin out. Cobra NA really needs VR Shockwave to get dunked on right here, but instead it's Pig dunking on Chimkin Man with the Uzis. Cobra NA trying to slow down Shockwave. Good bet from that angle across the street, but Braxton takes down Shagroid. So now 2 alive for both Fatal and VR Shockwave. Here is Zav hiding in a corner, and bullets coming down hard from up top here. From rooftop to rooftop, Supreme Genesis shooting at Cobra NA. And this feels like the first time we've seen all 3 players from Cobra NA tightly grouped up in all 5 games here. Iki the Rat using that harmonica, try to drop down and give his teammates those harmonica heals. But they do have to move in. Looking to do it from a low rate. Oh, Pig drops down. Able to survive for a moment, but Good Bet takes him down. Other side, Pig Ponage dropped off the high ground. Not much top shelf in the zone anymore, so not the great position it was earlier here, but Mr. Awesome Jr. still a little bit of pipe. Hitting Danimal with the op there as Pig Ponage tries to clear out those builds with the M60. Pig getting ticked by that zone grenade underneath and dies outside the zone. Not sure who will get credit for the kill. Who dropped that zone grenade? Ooh, Braxton. It's another purple or gold op there. Tagging Mr. Awesome. Hits the op shot on Danimal. Pig Ponage finishing. with the M60. Now only 2 alive for Cobra NA. Shagoid looking to move in a little bit closer on that. Fighting good bet inside. Shagoid spamming those builds. Just to stuff for these players to see what's going on. But Animal knows exactly where it is. Breaks through those builds with the TT. Fresh out for revive. Not afraid of some action. 3 seconds after getting back up. So all 3 alive here in the corner for Cobra NA.
Now shrinking.
All 3 are alive for Team EU. Oh, Mr. Awesome Jr. up in the face. Takes down Zob with the M10. And VR Shockwave goes down. 3rd place for them. And that's probably a good enough finish for them to lock them into the finals. Cobra NA gonna put up as many points as they can here. But it will likely not be enough. But there she's opened up a fight. As Daniel CC range on Braxton. Angelic knocks himself down with the zone grenade. That's 1 less kill available for Cobra NA here. When they need every point they can get. Chimkin Man dying outside the zone. They're content to just die. Get this over with. And unless there's some sort of agreement here for Team E to, you know, less of an agreement, more collusion for Team E to just revive themselves and let Cobra NA farm them for 20 kills here. It looks like we've got our top 3 locked up. Mr. Awesome dropping down though. Good bet with the MP5. Pink Ponage coming in with his shotgun. Daniel defending himself. Colin drops down. Gets Uzi. Good bet. Trades 1v1 here. Pink Ponage up top. No, Daniel's still in the action. Pink Ponage finally turns into a 1v1 with the M10. Knows where Good Bet is. But Good Bet finishes with the MP5. And a win for Cobra NA. Showing why they were the favorites coming into this lobby. And showing why it's such a shock to not see them advance after 4 tough games. If only that was game 1 for Cobra NA and they had 4 more games to come back. And nicely played last game there from Cobra NA. Well-timed drop down and move into the next zone. Dropping down whenever the other team, Supreme Genesis, wasn't up here anymore to really make that an impossible move. And Pink almost able to clutch up and get the 2v1 there at the end. And a lot of players gone from the lobby. A lot of players VREL season's over after that. But Shockwave here, likely moving on. Supreme Genesis, Pink Ponage, Mr. Awesome, and Colin the 5. They're going to be moving on. And we will wait a second to check the scores, get that full confirmation. But it looks like we're going to have Supreme Fatal, Supreme Genesis, and VR Shockwave, our top 3 teams from this lobby, moving on. Cobra NA going from last place to 4th place with that big game. And they did actually put up, I asked them for a 34-point game. They put up a 34-point game. They didn't catch up to, they needed 70.4 points to get to where VR Shockwave was before that game. But I'll pull up the scoreboard here since I'm talking about them. Really, Cobra NA did everything they could there in that last game, but not doing everything they could in those first 4 games. I mean, last game they got 12 kills. First 4 games combined 10 kills for Cobra NA. Really getting more points in game 5 than they had in the first 4 games combined. And that's why we knew after 3 games they weren't really out of it, because they could have done that 2 games in a row to solidify themselves in that top 3. But here we can see Supreme Genesis and Supreme Fatal said they were safe after that game 4, and they were. No scores in from game 5, and they are in the top 3 anyway, even though they both were in the top 3 in that last game in Metropolis. VR Shockwave doing more than enough, getting 18 points in that last match with, what, 8 kills, 1,500 damage in that 4th place spot. Yo, shout out Ryan. W content creator and player right there. in the chat. Thank you again for the biddies. Yeah, and like Slaw said, valiant effort from Cobra NA. And even if Shockwave did really bad, Shockwave was already at 70 points before that game. Cobra NA only able to get to 69, so a nice last game, but not enough overall. And really the unfortunate situation there, and the big story of that last game that we haven't talked about in 15 minutes or so, is Synergy dying immediately on the drop, all getting wiped right at Gun Store, in between Supreme Fatal and Genesis. And after Synergy went down at the beginning of the game, we all knew who the top three were going to be. So there you have it, folks. It is official. Supreme Fatal, VR Shockwave, and Supreme Genesis going to the final with, of course, screenshots and recordings pending if necessary. But first look, feeling the blunt straight from the lobby into the chat. Easy dub for Blunt there. And, you know, those first 3 games, y'all made it look quite easy. Really cohesive and smart play, working the zone to your advantage. So Supreme Fatal, Supreme Genesis, both Supreme teams. Only 2 out of 6 teams in the lobby were Supreme, but 2 out of 3 teams advancing also Supreme. 1 out of the 3 VRS teams, Shockwave, able to advance here. And the biggest shock, Cobra NA. Potentially the scariest, if not the scariest, definitely one of the top 2 scariest teams to run into in any fight in any lobby, out of the tournament, out of the finals. And if I'm anybody else, if I was any other player going into the finals, I'd be pretty happy about that, knowing that I'm not going to have to deal with Good Bet and Skittles and Danimal and anybody else from that Cobra NA roster anymore. Because even with Iggy the Rat there in that last game, we saw their potential, getting big 12 kills, 3k damage, first place. That's why I thought they would still be a favorite to advance, because I knew they were still capable of those sort of games, even not at full force, but not today. Let's see how this looks on stream. We'll get this a little better to wrap it up here. Whatever. Y'all already saw Supreme Fatal, Supreme Genesis, VR Shockwave, gonna be our 3 teams advancing. Congratulations to those 3 teams. They will be moving to the finals. Let's take one more look at the bracket. See who they may be facing next week. So y'all can see the time that final will be in here, but the other semifinal will be on Wednesday at 9 Eastern. So that's not on the bracket calendar here because that was rescheduled, but Wednesday at 9 Eastern, semifinal on the left there with Supreme Fugitives, Apex Elite, Cosmic Vortex, Supreme Royals, Apex Eternals, just another crew, will be played once again on Wednesday. I will be casting that, so I hope to see everybody there. And yeah, Fatal did look great tonight. So already 3 out of those 6 teams in the finals. 3 out of 6 teams have their tickets punched to the finals. 3 more teams from this lobby on the left. Who those teams will be is still TBD. But still, looking at these scores, not exactly sure if both of these first 2 games will count from this semifinal 1, but this game 1 will definitely count. So Supreme Fugitives, Apex Elite, and Supreme Royals already off to a good start here. And if those first 2 games both count, they'll be even happier having a 20-point gap between 3rd and 4th. So already looking at a favorite top 3. Definitely the top 3 favorites coming into that lobby as well. but still three or four games left to be played in this semifinal lobby, and we'll have to wait till Wednesday to see exactly what happens there. All right, folks. It has been a pleasure. Congrats again. VR Shockwave, Supreme Fatal, Supreme Genesis, all advancing to the finals, awaiting to see who their opponents will be. They'll know by the end of Wednesday night's lobby. And then a week from tonight, how long is a week in hours? 168 hours? 168 hours from now, we will have a champion crowned for VREL Season 1. Will it be one of the three teams we saw advance tonight? Will it be one of the three
Supply
teams from the
drop
other
deploying to
semifinal?
planes.
And everybody, definitely better to get second and third as well, rather than 4th through 6th, as there's cash for the top three. $500, $300, $200 for 1st through 3rd, respectively. And it's going to be a fun next semifinal and a fun final all coming up this week. So a lot of good Pop 1 to look forward to this week. And Supreme warmed up from ARC qualifiers. With Cobra A and A out, who is the favorite to win it all? I would say Supreme Fugitives from the other lobby. They got first place in the first two games in the other lobby. And in general, I would consider, like, independent of the lobby we just saw, Supreme Fugitives and Cobra NA are probably the top two teams, and they have been the top two most dominant teams for quite a while. Maybe even over a
Renaissance
year
is
at
now
this point.
shrinking.
Those have been the top two teams of competitive Pop 1, Supreme Fugitives and Cobra NA. Quite the rivalry. But we won't see that rivalry in the final. And yeah, it is looking like 4 Supreme teams here, because it looks like both
5
Fugitives
squads remain.
and Royals going to advance from this other lobby if they have done those first 2 rounds. And the top 3 teams already, Fugitives, Royals, and Apex Elite, would have been my favorites going into that other semifinal. So could be, yeah, hot take, Mud. Supreme gonna be the champion when you got 4 Supreme teams to choose from. That's funny. But yeah, I would say Supreme Fugitives the favorite there, with Apex Elite and Supreme Royals the other two. So that other semifinals got 3 legit contenders to be the overall champs. But all the teams advancing from today's lobby, definitely a threat. Honestly, don't know if they have the firepower to get that #1 overall. But the thing is, sometimes, kind of like we saw today, those lobbies, when all the teams are so good, become more about positioning. And that becomes more to premium than your individual mechanical gameplay, because everybody's so good and all the teams are wiping each other out. Nobody can really establish dominance, get that 30 point per game kind of roll going that we have seen in the past from teams like Fugitives. And that can open it up for teams that play like Fatal we're playing today. Go for that zone positioning, play smart, play as a team, and find your way squeaking into first. So really anything could happen in the finals, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope y'all are too. But for now, I'm gonna sign off, call it a day. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ryan, once again, for dropping those biddies. Shout out, check out his content. And thank you for VREL and Sloth for doing so much work, of course, for the league. And then gotta give a shout out to our sponsors for providing that prize pool that is motivating these players to put in so much work to get to this skill level and to play so much of this fun battle royale. Got B Haptics, Bobo VR, Caveman Studios, Degenerate Decals, Dropline, G Fuel, Kiwi Design, Mammut, Proxy Mat. Thank you to all those sponsors. But most of all, thank you for watching, because that's what we're here for, right? Some great content. That's what esports is all about. Some good entertainment. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the semifinals on Wednesday and on the finals on Saturday. But for now, Papaya out.